Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am the CEO and the founder of Madaraka Festival, and this is the Madaraka Festival Podcast. I am your host. Today, we are recording at the Seattle Drum School of Music in Georgetown, in Seattle, Washington, and I have a really special guest, David Jackson, who is the founder of Seattle Connected Podcast.
Yes.
How are you today, my brother?
Good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
I'm
Thanks
happy you took the time off of your busy schedule to come and share with us a little more about the amazing work you're doing in the community, bringing entrepreneurs who are less known as they rise in their multiple fields across Seattle, sharing their stories and helping amplify businesses that need the visibility.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like it's my responsibility being a part of this community so long. I think we can all do our part, and a small voice is better than no voice, so I'm happy to do it.
True. I love that. Now, I want you to take us back because I feel that everybody has a place where their story began. They have a place where something triggered or, drew them to take the path that they're taking now as a creative, as a podcaster, for example, in your case. So take us back to a time when you were 5 to 10 years old. Reflect on some of the colors you grew up with, some of the sounds, some of the smells, the tastes, the foods, that really drives who you are today as the host of the Seattle Connected.
Yeah. That was a very good time, 5 to 10. I think I didn't appreciate it then. Now I can say, I had a pretty good childhood, 5 to 10. The colors that always come to mind is blue. It's always my favorite color. And I said when my son was born, guess what? Your favorite color is blue also. But blue always makes me think of better times, better days. Makes me think of going outside, playing with my friends, not wanting to come inside when it was time to come in. Makes me think of barbecues, family reunions, my birthday in the summer. All those warm feelings I associate with the color blue. Even on the gray days, it always made me think eventually there's going to be another blue day. So those are the colors that come to mind. Music. Oh, man. So without dating myself, I grew up in the 80s and part of the 90s. My mom exposed me to old school soul music, the Motown era, some funk, some gospel. And my brother and I were coming up when hip hop was really getting big. So it was all about whoever sounded different. So whether you're from the East Coast, West Coast, South, Midwest, it was just something new to look forward to. So it was like a present each day, listening to this artist and seeing what story they had to say and whatnot. So I had a mix of what was current and what was old school. So I think I have an appreciation because I live by that, if you don't know your past, you're bound to repeat it. And I think there's always stories in music. So I'm always looking for that new artist or a new story that I can hear in music today. So that time was just, what else can I hear? What else can I do? As far as food, oh man, making me hungry just thinking about that. My mom was the greatest cook. She was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I had that Southern cooking on a daily basis almost. Oh man, I just think of the smell of collard greens, baked and stewed chicken, her seafood gumbo, sweet potato pie. She still made the best sweet potato pie. I haven't found anyone to make one as good as hers, but it was just a sense of love. When you walk in, it just kind of eased you. No matter how bad your day might have been or you thought it was bad, just going home, a nice home-cooked meal just kind of put all your worries at ease and just, it was love. It was the smell of love.
I love that. Wow. So I just love, the background you shared with us in regards to where your mom came from and how delicious the foods that she made for you growing up were, but also how they influenced you, Nourishment comes from those years, and as a creative in today's world, you have to move fast. A lot of the time, if you don't move fast enough, time will not allow you to even keep up, You've been podcasting for 2 years. You are almost at 100 episodes with Seattle Connected.
Yeah.
Those are like 100 entrepreneurs, 100 real people that you've sat down with and sifted through their stories and gone through some of their most vulnerable moments to some of their greatest accomplishments, I want you to take a minute and just break down Seattle Connected podcast for those who don't know you, those who are connecting with you for the first time,
Okay.
When did it start and why? Where are you now, and where are you trying to take it?
All right. So Seattle Connected is something that I had in my mind before it actually came into fruition.
Yeah.
I thought, there should be a platform for us to tell our stories beyond Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kind of person, if you're going to do something for me, I want you to do it out the kindness of your heart, not because it's an obligation. Oh, it's Black History Month or it's this and that, all right, that's cool, but we're more than just 1 month. Our contributions to this country and worldwide, there's not enough time for us to talk about that, right? So I said, hey, if I have a small voice, that's better than no voice. So with that, let me amplify my own community. It's easy to say, I can't do everything, but everyone can do something. So I said, I know a lot of creatives out there and business owners and people who are doing tremendous things in my community, but they're not getting the spotlight. They might not have the funding, the backing by corporate sponsors or whatnot, or they're just getting in this game. And so I said, if I can share this news, they can gain more followers, and then they can gain more followers, and it's a cycle. You help me, I help you. So the first couple episodes, I asked several friends of mine, they said, that's an awesome idea. Let's do it. I said, cool. The response that I got after the first 5 or 6 episodes was more than I expected. I initially said, let me see if I can do 10, 12 episodes and let's see how it goes. By the time I got to 10, I was like, let me do 25, then let me do 50. And like you mentioned, I'm about to be at 100 already. And so just helping others amplify their stories, because I'm a big believer in you can learn from other people's journeys.
True.
Whenever I have time to read, which isn't often because, I got 2 kids, I always read biographies. I always read about someone's path and see what things I might be able to change my path or avoid certain hiccups or, turmoil that someone else went through. So being able to do this with my community has been amazing. I've met so many wonderful people, and just knowing that I can help them, I know it's coming back to me daily. Meeting people like you, meeting someone on the street, or if I go to an event, it's actually happened, or they're like, hey, I've seen you on YouTube, or I've seen you. And I said, well, thank you. They're like, I really appreciate you doing this, because there's not a lot of platforms that will help us share our stories and our vision and the struggle that comes behind it. So I'm just happy to be doing it, man, and see what I can do in the future.
I love that. A lot of people have other ways of bringing community together, highlighting business owners. Some people create churches. Some people create restaurants. These are still platforms that bring people together. Some people organize events like me, with Madaraka Festival. But you picked a podcast, Seattle Connected. Why was the podcast the path that you chose? Yeah,
I think I've always been a natural connector, I guess you could say, play on words. And I didn't realize it until someone else pointed it out.
Yeah.
The way I am now, anyone who knows me, they'll tell you I was the same way when I was 10, 11, 12. I was always that person. If I invite you to a party, I'm introducing you to friends, and then now they're your friends. So I've always had that natural, I guess it's a gift or a skill. I don't know. I never saw it that way. But podcasting is so big now. I said, let me see where this is going. Let me communicate with people in a way that is now that is today. People listen to podcasts going to the gym, on their way to school, on their way to work. It's an outlet. It's a way that you can relax and learn something in the process. Like when people would binge watch their favorite shows on Netflix and Hulu, it's the same thing. You know, it's entertainment for the mind. And with that, I think I said, I'm going to make sure that this podcast is for everybody. Every episode is different than the last. So if you have a barbecue business, I'm not going to have another barbecue business on the show. I've been fortunate enough to interview authors, painters, therapists, nutritionists, accountants, tattoo artists, you name it, a little bit of everything, because our community is that beautiful and is so diverse, you can't put us in a box.
I love that. The other thing is, when we look at the money side of things, it takes a while for a podcast to pay you, for a podcast to grow to a point where brands want to invest in it, you know? And it requires a lot of resilience and discipline, hard work. And you just mentioned that you have 2 kids, you know? And I imagine that you have a job and you have, you know, here in America, people have multiple hustles, you know? How are you balancing all of this?
Balance.
Especially as a black man in America, you know, I feel like we are one of the least spoken about part of the society, you know? We are always assumed to be the strongest, you know? Our issues, whether you're okay, people don't want to know. People just want you to tough it up, you know? And this is from childhood. This is from childhood. The boy in the household is always expected to be the bigger person. You can't get angry. You can't get mad. At work, you can't get angry. You can't get mad.
It's still to this day.
But you are able to balance it. So give us some of the maybe 3 tips. If there was a young person who just graduated from college, they want to start their own podcast, but they also want to do a full-time job. They want to have a side hustle. They're also in love.
That's a job itself. I would say number 1, ask for help. Before you go into anything, research. Learning is never out of style because the world is forever changing. So you're never going to know everything. Like me and you could learn everything about this space we're in right now. A month later, there's 10 more things to learn. So always look for other avenues. And what's so cool now is, as far as technology goes, you can learn about those who podcast or started their business 30 years ago, 40 years ago at the tip of your fingertips, your phone, right? So learn. Check out YouTube tutorials, online classes, pick somebody's brain, send them a message on Instagram, say, hey, how did you get started? What's something I should avoid or what's something I should invest in? Ask questions. Number 2, I would say, see what's going to separate you from the next person, right? If I have a brand, if I had potato chips, why should you get my chips versus these chips that are already on the shelf? See what's going to separate you from others so they'll want to tune into your podcast and not someone else. What makes you different? Why should I listen to you? What do you have to offer? You know, also, like you mentioned earlier about the monetization side, know that this isn't overnight. If you're in it for overnight success, you're probably in it for the wrong reasons. And after 1 or 2 episodes, you're like, nah, I'm good. You know, some things take a long time before you see the residuals or the beautiful side of the struggle. Know that anything great is worth pursuing more than just a short amount of time, right? And the last thing I would say is know your bandwidth. Know what is feasible to do. We all have these expectations like, I want to do, 30 episodes in 1 week and I want to have 1 million. It sounds good, but know that you're a human being, right? So if you set aside a certain time like you would studying if you were in school or your job schedule or family time, do the same thing with your podcast, right? So the more time you spend in one area, that's less time you have in another area. So come up with a schedule that is actually doable with your schedule. So if you say podcasting on Saturdays, Sunday, no matter what, that's only family day. Monday through Friday, work. After work, I need to decompress and work on, the next podcast coming up the next Saturday. Just know that you're not a robot, because if you give everything in one area, that area is going to be good, but every other area is going to, kind of fall to the wayside. So just balance and not put that pressure on yourself that you need to be within a week where some people had to work 10 years to get to. Reality.
I love that. Thank you for those tips, and I hope that the young people who are watching grabbed some of those nuggets of wisdom that you just shared.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, because you've lived in Seattle your entire life,
Yeah.
I just want us to touch base and speak a little bit about Madaraka Festival.
Yeah.
I have produced Madaraka Festival. This is the 11th year, and I don't know how much you know about it, but I want you to share with me.
Yeah, well, I heard about the festival maybe 3 years ago. And the first year I didn't go. I was out of town at that time. And then the next year I was able to attend, and I said, this is something different in a good way. This is kind of cool. And it was almost like that feeling where if you're at a good party, you don't want the party to end. So I was like, wow, this is so thought out. This is something so needed for our community. Where those who might not be that familiar with African culture beyond what they might see on TV or a misconception or a watered down version, they can get a hands-on experience. This festival is opening people's eyes to what our culture is really about and how beautiful it is. So I said, wow, this is amazing. So I reached out this year and said, this is one of those things I want to be a part of, because I feel so strongly about. And going back to the podcasting thing, I'm really particular on who I work with. And as far as branding goes, because if I stand by something that I don't believe in, what does that say about me? I'll sign up for anything. When I had the chance to work with you, I said, I'm there. Because I know this isn't something that you're doing to get rich. This isn't something that you're doing because you're forced. You're doing this because it's in your heart. And for you to do this 11 years later, consistently, that says a lot about you. It says a lot about the festival, and it says a lot about the support. So I see this thing, and just from other colleagues that I've had, it's growing and growing and growing each year. So I'm like, oh man, I want to see what this year is going to be like. I got to be a part of this. And before we know it, it's going to be, August 30th, and it's going to be this big celebration of culture, of people, and everyone is invited to be a part of this. And I think that's so awesome. And I appreciate you for doing this and staying with it, because I know the first couple years, as good as they were, I know they were like, okay, we can work on this, we can work on that, but you just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and every year you're already thinking about the next year. So I'm happy to experience it. I think this is something that everyone should do, and like I always say, if you can't attend, that's cool, get a ticket for someone else who can.
True. True.
Because I think this is something that if you experience it, you'll definitely tell someone, and you'll definitely be back the next year.
True.
Yeah.
I love that. I want to take a minute and speak to everybody who you want to invite to join us on August 30th. Just say, my name is David Jackson, and I want to invite you to Madaraka Festival at Pier 62 on August 30th from 12 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right there.
All right. This is David Jackson letting you know where you need to be August 30th. At Pier 62, Madaraka Festival. One more time, Madaraka Festival. You need to be there, your friends, family, co-workers. It's going down. I promise you, if you want something that is going to embrace African culture, something that's going to be a community family reunion, you're going to meet new friends, new colleagues, be experiencing different music, food, and just love. You need to be here. Madaraka Festival is in its 11th year. I promise you, you will be thinking about the next time and the next time and sharing wonderful stories with all your loved ones. So August 30th, You have plenty of time. Get your tickets, but don't wait till the last minute. Get your tickets now. If you can't make it, get a ticket for someone else. It makes a good birthday gift, a late graduation gift, Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever. It's a celebration. So I'm going to be there. I need to see you guys there. Come on. We have things like this in the community. It's up to us to embrace it, celebrate, support. Come on, guys. August 30th, Madaraka Festival. You need to be there. I'll be there. I'll see you there.
I love it. I love it. So now if someone has been watching our conversation and they want to stay connected with you, they want to support the work you do, how do they do it?
Wow.
Also,
Seattle,
look there and let them know.
So anyone who wants to stay up to date what's going on, Seattle Connected Podcast, I can be reached on Gmail, Seattle Connected 206 on Gmail, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. I'm always looking for new guests. You know, if it's a good fit, I'd love to have you on. You can also reach out to me on my website, rain2shine.com. That's my entertainment company. We do film, podcasting, music, management as well. So it's REIGNTOSHINE, rain2shine.com. We also do event hosting. So if you need to host me for something, please reach out. But yeah, just stay in the loop and continue to support me. I'll continue to support you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As you are driving here for our conversation today, you must have been thinking of one thing that you just wanted to talk about. And this is a moment for you to speak and share something that I haven't asked.
Oh.
That you want people to know about.
Okay. Why it's important to support others. I would say it's important to support others because communication and connecting with people is so important because you don't know what that connection will lead to. I can meet you today. We can have a great conversation. It could be 2 minutes. I might not be able to work with you right now, but that connection we made might lead to a connection down the line. Or for someone that I know, you might be able to help them out with resources or opportunities. So never be afraid to meet someone, talk, have a conversation, because you never know how that might work in the future. So don't be afraid. Step out your bubble if you are. It doesn't have to be something long-winded. And you can always support by just reposting someone's story, liking a post. You don't have to always spend money. I think it's the little things that make a big difference. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank
you for that. And thank you to each and every one of you who joined us for today's conversation with my guest, David Jackson, who is the founder and the host of Seattle Connected Podcast. I would love for you to take a minute and subscribe to our channel. One of the things I have noticed while analyzing the performance and growth of this channel is that we have so many of you viewing a lot of the videos on this channel, but you have not subscribed. And so I want to encourage you to make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below so that we can also engage with you and ensure that the bigger this channel gets, the bigger the guests. Peace.